Hello guys, my name is Sarah Hamid Nasution. In this video, I will explain about the classifications of speech sounds. The speech sounds is divided into the consonants and the vowel. What is the difference between the consonant and the vowel is the obstructions. While the consonants is the speech sounds produced with the obstructions, and the vowel is the speech sounds produced without the obstructions. And first, I will explain about the consonants. A consonant is a speech sound produced with obstructions in which the air is at least partly blocked, and any letter which represents these consonants may come slightly by themselves or in clusters, but must be connected to a vowel to form a syllables. So, how can we classification? How can we classifying the consonants? There are three ways in classifying the consonants. First is place of articulations. Place of articulations means what organs work or move when producing those consonants, which is bilabial, labiodental sounds, alveolars, palatal, velar sounds, and also the glottal fricative. The second one is manner of articulations, means that explaining the air conditions when we produce the consonants, like velar stops, oral stops, nasal stops, fricative, and also labiovelar approachments, and the last is liquids. If we obstruct the airflow completely, the sound is called stop. When the airflow is stopped, pressure builds up in the vocal tract and then is released in the burst of air when we release the obstructions. The second is, it's also possible to obstruct the airflow in the mouth but allow air to flow through the nasal cavity. They are sometimes called nasal stops. Instead of blocking airflow completely, it's possible to hold the articulator close together and allow the air to flow turbulently through the small space. And we call it as a fricative. And the second one is if you bring your articulations close together but let the air flow smoothly, the resulting sound is called an explosion. The last one, if we keep the tongue at the alveolar ridge but allow air to flow along the sides of the tongue, we get the alveolateral approachments. They are also sometimes we call as the liquids. And number 3 is voicings. We felt the difference between voice and voiceless sounds. For voiced consonants like Z and V, the vocal folds vibrate. For voiceless sounds like S and F, the vocal folds are held apart to let air pass through. And the second is a vowel. Vowels, like what we say before, the speech sounds that produce without the contractions. We can classify is the one of the class speech sounds in the articulations of which the oral part of the breath channel is not a block and it's not constricted enough to cause audible frictions broadly. And how to classifying them? There are 4 ways to classifications the English of vowel. First is monophthong and diphthong. We call monophthong because it can stand alone, one symbols, one sounds, and it's not not same with the diphthong. It is 2 symbols and 1 sounds. And the second one is tongue positions, which part of the tongue produce the vowel, like front vowel, central vowel, and also back vowel. Front vowel, when the tongue is in the front part of the mouth and the front part of it is raised to the hard palate. And the second, central vowel, when the front of the tongue is raised towards the back part of the hard palate, is called central. And the last is a back vowel. When the tongue is the back part of the mouth and the back of it is raised towards the soft palate, back vowel is pronounced. And the third is height of the tongue, which is divided into high and also low. High means when the front of the back of the tongue is raised high towards the palate, the vowel is closed. The vowel is called closed. And the second is a low. When the front of the back of the tongue is as low as possible in the mouth, open vowels are pronounced. And the last is lips positions. It's divided into rounded and also unrounded. Rounded means that when the lips are drawn together so that the opening between them is more or less round, the vowels are called round. And the last is unrounded, when the lips are natural or spread The vowel are called. So I think that's all from me about this video about the classifications of speech sounds. Thank you very much and assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you.